Yo, what's going on? Don't know if you guys can hear me. Hopefully we can get some traffic coming in, then you guys can start to hear me. See how it plays out. We'll give it a minute or so. Maybe not a minute. So I'm guessing if anyone's going to see this, it's probably going to be after the fact. Obviously, it weren't a scheduled live stream, and I'm not anticipating too many people are going to come along to it. But basically, just to share with you guys what's happened is, so as you know, I've recently started this journey with YouTubing and building up this channel, and what's happened is I've reached out to a local mixed martial arts promotion to me here in London, and it's called UCMMA. So for those of you who don't know what UCMMA is, it's called UCMMA, stands for Ultimate Challenge Mixed Martial Arts, and it's based down here in London, fighting out of Troxy, and I've been given a press pass to go along, and I'm just going to be kind of talking about what's going on here and a little bit about that. So while I was out here, I thought it might be a good idea, while some of the prelims are going on. It's kind of underwhelming prelims, don't mean that in a rude way, but while that's going on, just to let you guys know what's the importance of these kinds of promotions. So regional promotions, particularly if we're talking about UCMMA. UCMMA has been about for a while now. It replaced Cage Rage. It's owned by Dave O'Donnell. Dave O'Donnell is like he's a legend in British mixed martial arts, and he's obviously he started up Cage Rage. Cage Rage got pretty big. It got owned by Elite XC at one point, and on the back of that, when Elite XC went bankrupt, he obviously started a new venture. That new venture was UCMMA. UCMMA being the event I'm at today, and with a press pass. UCMMA is a home of sort of British mixed martial arts, and it's had some key and important fighters come out of UCMMA. Now, when we're talking about some of the key names that came out of UCMMA, we're talking about guys like Jimmy Manuwa. Jimmy Manuwa came out of UCMMA. Then Johnny Walker, who's making tons of noise in the UFC right now, he was fighting in the UCMMA not 2-3 fights ago. So obviously that's key there. John the One Maguire, he spent some time in UCMMA before he went Tawana. What's going on, bro? What's going on, Petre? Yeah, so he spent some time over in UCMMA. So UCMMA is key and important in the development of mixed martial arts, and regional promotions like this play a vital role in the development of the sport in itself. So what's going on, man? Yo, what's going on, my G? Gastelum, yeah, Gastelum's gonna knock out. He's gonna knock out Robert Whittaker. I got Gastelum knocking out Robert Whittaker. Guys, just let me know if you guys can hear me properly. Obviously, I'm at an event right now, so it might be pretty noisy. So yeah, man, so regional events like these is really important in the development of MMA, particularly for young fighters to come up and build up experience. Obviously in mixed martial arts, we're used to fighters not having, yo, what's going on, Russell Rusty? In mixed martial arts, we're used to fighters not having that many fights before they get to the UFC, 5, 6, 7 fights. To give you some scope of how crazy that is like a professional boxer to go from making his debut 3 or 4 fights and then fighting at a European level. That's crazy. And I compare it to European level because even though UFC is the biggest stage, obviously you don't debut fight for the world titles. So that's a fair comparison right there. Regional promotions like this is where a lot of fighters are developed and honed, and I think a lot of talent can be made excellent here. If they want to build up their skill set and they build up their skill set right here in the UK, particularly if we're talking about British fighters, if you want to build up your skill set and you get experience here in the regional scene, that sets you up better to go onto the world stage. Obviously, then, if we're talking about guys like Aaron Pico who debut straight for Bellator, that's a very, very difficult position to be in. That's not ideal for any professional fighter to be in, and it's a very, very tall task. That's not the way it should be done. That's not the correct way, and it's not the way that it's historically been done in the sports, MMA's predecessing sports, guys like boxing. Sam Alvey round 1. You know what? I wasn't that impressed with Crute in his last fight, but I'm not generally that impressed with Sam Alvey either, to be honest with you. He's got big power and he's got heart, but the guy's not he's not a killer. I wouldn't call him a killer by any stretch of the imagination. Sam Alvey losing. I wouldn't make a prediction on that fight because the two fighters that are not at the best. It's kind of hard to predict in a fight like that. Tab Chan smashing it, bro. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Yeah, I'm here at UCMMA. I got a press pass for the event. It's quite cool. Yeah, he's got a good left hook. He's taken out some good fighters with that left hook as well. Israel Adesanya versus Anderson Silva, that should be a fun fight as well. You know what? Let's come to Hong Kong. Maybe one day I will come to Hong Kong, Tab Chan. Maybe. If we're talking about that, let's talk about his tonight's fight. Israel Adesanya versus Anderson Silva. That is going to be a crazy fight. And I know a lot of people are counting out Anderson Silva because he's old, but what I will say is never count out a guy with the level of experience or the skill set that Anderson Silva has. He is a veteran, crafty fighter of the game, and he has been around for a long time. If he sees an opportunity for Israel Adesanya for him to exploit, believe he will exploit that opportunity. You're going to go Hong Kong. I see him setting up Hong Kong meets out here. Believe he's going to take advantage of that opportunity. And let's not forget, it wasn't a year ago that Israel Adesanya looked very beatable when he was fighting Marvin Vettori. Marvin Vettori obviously ain't one of the best in the world, and he's not Anderson Silva. In no realm of reality, even till this day, would you pick Marvin Vettori in a fight against Anderson Silva? So Anderson Silva has Australia KOs coming. Yeah, man, there is some serious KOs coming tonight. I'm excited. Yo, what's going on with MMA news? Yo, bro, if you just joined the stream, I got some news. Basically, I got a press pass to attend UCMMA, which is a local event here in London. It's a pretty big regional show here in London. I got given a press pass on the back of this YouTube channel that I've literally just started. So that's pretty cool, man. And we're just having a little bit of a discussion about some of the fights tonight. And I was talking about the importance of regional MMA shows as well, and I was hoping that fighters start spending some more time in regional shows before they start moving to the bigger stage in MMA. I think it's important. I think it's important for fighters to spend time in the regional shows before they move on to start fighting on the big shows and that big stage. It's getting that experience on the regional stage, more comfortable to your home base, being around your friends and your family is very important. So for you to be able to demonstrate your true skill set when you're going forward into the world of mixed martial arts, that's how you're going to demonstrate your true skill set. Great knowledge. Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. You know what? Tons of people have tons of knowledge in loads of different areas. Mine's all based around fighting, boxing, MMA, and all the same. My full-time job. I just thought, you know what, it's time to start interacting with you guys online and start building up a little community of fight fans like myself. And congratulations on the regional scene. It's important to make it work. Thank you, man. Yeah. No, I appreciate that, bro. But yeah, the regional scene is very important, man. And I think if there's one thing that mixed martial arts can take from boxing, I don't want them to take an awful lot from boxing because of the amount of corruption that is in boxing. Is the opportunities that the regional scene provides, and I think if we start seeing love it, respect, bro. Thank you, Purple Mango. Welcome to the stream. I'm here at UCMMA. Yeah, man. So I'm hoping that fighters start learning that if there's one thing from boxing that I want mixed martial arts fighters to start taking is gaining experience at the lower levels. Gain experience, get 10, 11, 12 fights, fight 12 tomato cans. I don't care. Just don't start getting to 20, 25, 30 and 0 fighting bums. I don't want to see that. But fight 10, 11, 12 pies, that's cool. Fight the pies, build up the experience and then move on to the bigger stage. That's a good way to start to come into the UFC and be at home already. If you can build up that experience base that you have to be able to draw on in your mind and your skill set, it helps you flourish in your talent. And particularly in MMA, I only bet on KOs. On boxing, you can't trust the judges, period. Yeah, you can't trust the judges in boxing. Well, even in MMA, there's problems, but there is bad corruption in boxing. In boxing in particular, there is bad corruption, and I think a most recent example is the Tyson Fury fight. Tyson Fury, I don't give a shit what anyone says. Tyson Fury should have won that fight, and I hear a lot of people saying that, oh, but the two knockdowns make it a draw. They don't make it a draw. They don't make it a draw at all. If you think that makes it a draw, if you think that makes getting knocked down twice, firstly, it's a 12-round fight. He lost 2 of the rounds clearly. Cool. 10-8 rounds. You give those 10-8 to Deontay Wilder. This ain't a street fight. It's a boxing match. And at that point, you got to judge it on the rest of the fight. If you think Deontay Wilder got a draw or that he won that fight, I've got a suggestion for you. All right, go online. Start looking around. Maybe go about, meet some people. Find a guy though. Whether you're a guy or a girl and you think this, it doesn't matter. You find a guy. You meet him, you hang out with him, and then you write Deontay Wilder on his dick, and then you suck it. That's my suggestion for you, because Tyson Fury won that fight straight up. And anyone who disagrees, take up my advice. That's my advice for you. Similar advice that I gave to any UFC fanboys who think anything outside of UFC is shit. Back to MMA. Fury was robbed. It was shocking. Yeah, straight up, Fury was robbed. I can't believe that. It broke my heart, man. I was staying up watching it, and everything Fury went through everything Fury went to get to that fight, get to that point in period in his career again, after everything he had been through. That is out of order for them to rob him. He got robbed of the biggest moment of his career. He can go and beat Deontay Wilder again, but the fact that win's not on his record now, it hurts me. Maybe I get a bit too personally emotionally invested in it, but damn, I was upset, man. I was upset. He should have got that W, and I think most unbiased, objective fans get. And this is the problem. This is another one of the. I'm sorry, I keep going off on tangents here, but one of the main reasons why I started this channel, I started the adventure, is because there are so many fucking fanboys out there. Fanboys of Conor McGregor that ain't MMA fans. Don't know shit about MMA prior to 2015 when Conor McGregor blew up. There's fanboys of Anthony Joshua that don't know shit about boxing. There's fanboys that are fans of fighters, boxers or mixed martial artists that ain't fans of mixed martial arts and boxing. And when you get fighters like that around perpetuating a uneducated opinion, and then that becomes a general consensus, that damages the sport. And I felt like it's important to put aside all my personal opinions of who I'm a fan of and start a channel and be able to interact with people, and regardless of what's going on and what my personal opinion is, be able to give an unbiased, objective point of view on the fight and what's going on. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's in my breakdowns, that's what I try to do. I try to step away from it emotionally, have a disconnect, and just talk about the fight as the fight. Even when I'm watching a fight, I started to do some commentaries on some of the fights. Obviously I'm in London, so some of the UFC cards are a bit hard for me to do a commentary on, because obviously they'll be on like 5-6 a.m. here. I have a Saturday job, so I start at like 6 a.m. in the morning. I wake up, so sometimes by the time the main event's on, I've been up for 24 hours. But I think it's very important to have fans out there, or guys like us, that can interact. And any standouts on tonight's show for fella, how's it? Oh, what's going on, Adam Turner? What's happening, my G? So not really. There's not really been. This is a sort of rookie show. There's a lot of guys with losing records here, or inexperienced fighters that ain't got 3 fights. I think one of the main event guys is 10-6. I understand the appreciation why everyone's out here. So, but they're not killers. Thank you, Taron. I appreciate that, my brother. So yeah, I just wanted to be able to give an unbiased, objective point of view when it comes to fights, breaking down fights, and even when I'm giving commentary or companions. Guys, by the way, if you're just joining the stream, Raw MMA News, check out his channel, man. That's one knowledgeable dude right there. Handsome Irish dude right there. He's got some great content. Check him out, man. See some of his content as well. And but yeah, man. So tonight's fights, man. I'm excited for tonight's fights. I think Kelvin Gastelum should be able to. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Careful, they might beat you up. You know what? they can come. I'm right here, man. I'm right here. Yeah, man. My beard game's coming on strong, man. It's taken me a while to get here, but it's coming on strong. The Kelvin Gastelum fight, I'm super stoked about tonight, and like Scotland knowledge in the house. Scotland's a beautiful part of the world, man. I love Scotland. Scotland and Ireland, two of my favourite places in the world, man. They're so beautiful. I was in Dublin this year, and Kai France private. Yeah, Kai Kara France is. I like him. I liked him ever since the Ultimate Fighter. Ever since he had that little weigh-in that went viral. I like that dude. He's a talented. He's a flyweight, if I'm remembering correctly. So I hope they don't get rid of the flyweight division. What do you guys think about that? I think it's bullshit if they get rid of the flyweight division. For some reason, there's a lot of guys out there that are very insecure, knowing that there's 125-pound dudes that will knock and spark out. If you are so insecure in yourself that you feel like a 125-pound division threatens your own personal masculinity, you're probably a bitch, and like straight up you're a bitch. So I really hope they don't get rid of the 125-pound division. I'm happy for Mighty Mouse Johnson that he got to go to one championship though, because I'm a huge one championship fan. I avidly watch their product. But I want the 125 division to stay. I want Henry Cejudo to stay at 125. At 5'4", I don't think he belongs at bantamweight. I don't want him to be losing because the guys are too big for him. That's bullshit, man. Yeah, man. People don't appreciate skill sets, and that's the problem, man. There's a lot of guys out there that don't appreciate a fighter with a true skill set. They just want to watch brutal knockouts, and whilst there may not be, you know what, I was about to say, whilst there may not be brutal finishes, Mighty Mouse Johnson was finishing just about everyone. Like, come on, man, let's get that bullshit out of here. Koji Horiguchi versus Mighty Mouse Johnson was high-level MMA at its best. Henry Cejudo's the second Henry Cejudo fight. You got Joseph Benavidez down there making noise. Juicy A for Omega. Back in the days when Ian McCall was fighting on Legacy, he was a G. All these guys are straight G's. They just need to be allowed to be able to fight in their weight class. But I don't give a fuck about popularity. I don't care about how much money the UFC is making from it. As a fan, as a hardcore mixed martial arts fan, I want to watch the 125-pound division. Straight up bullshit if they get rid of it. I'll be brutally disappointed. I think but the good thing, now there is always good things about this, that would provide one championship to be able to be home, the main home of the biggest division, or for the 125 division. They will legitimately have a claim at having a division in the world that's one of the best. I'm a huge fan of the one championship product, so I wouldn't mind seeing them being able to have that leverage, and that's if there's one positive to come from it, that's good. Plus, if they're to adopt it and bring in Mighty Mouse Johnson and all the rest of it, well then there is a home for 125-pound fighters to be getting paid. You've got guys like Ben Wynn. I love Ben Wynn, by the way. He's going to be fighting Koji Horiguchi next now at 135, I believe. That's going to be in Rising. As fans, we want many weight classes, but we want to appreciate skill set, flower. Yeah, straight up. Yeah, yeah. See, a lot of people don't like Dana White. I respect everything that Dana White's done to build the sport up from where he did it. I respect everything that Dana White's done, but I feel like it's gotten to the stage where we got to consider now: is Dana White key in the growth of the sport no more? The sport's got to override everything. Whilst I respect everything Dana White's done, it may be time for him to step aside. The dude's got a serious ego, and obviously he's had personal vendettas with fighters previously, and he's had personal beefs, and because of his personal beefs or personal issues, you got fighters that missed out on an opportunity to sign with the UFC. You got Ben Askren coming over to the UFC at 34 years old now, and in my opinion, the best Ben Askren's already behind us. I got to enjoy watching him fight in Bellator and won, but I didn't get to see him fight the best fighters in the world, and that bothers me. And Ben Askren should have always been in the UFC. I don't give a shit if he's got a wrestling heavy 100% Greek and Shamrock. I want my money. Yeah, I remember that shit. That was nonsense. Absolutely pathetic. Ben Askren should have been in the UFC long time. When you're gonna do shit like, say, Ben Askren needs more experience or he needs to prove himself to be in the UFC, and then soon after you're gonna go and sign fucking CM Punk to fight on the card. And I'm a WWE fan because I grew up watching WWE, but it doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. CM Punk should never have been in the UFC, and the fact that he was bullshit. This is not a situation with like Brock Lesnar where you had an amateur wrestler, Greg Hardy. The Greg Hardy thing pisses me off because not only do you bring in Greg Hardy, who shouldn't be getting. Greg Hardy wasn't ready for the UFC. That's straight up bullshit. The dude was terrible. Even when you watched him fight, the dude had no skill set. Like, he's gonna come out there, come swing wildly, gas out in about 3 minutes, then. And come on, Greg Hardy being Greg Hardy with the part, and I'm from London, so I didn't know nothing about Greg Hardy. I don't watch NFL, and I didn't know nothing about Greg Hardy up until he made MMA and started seeing news articles about him all over the place. Greg Hardy should not have ever had an opportunity to sign with the UFC, not yet. If anything, it should have been harder for him to get to the UFC. He shouldn't have been able to get to the UFC at 3-0 because he hasn't. All about popularity, bro. Having Hardy, yeah. Cerrone versus Alexander Hernandez. That was the co-main event, motherfucker. I do not give a fuck what anyone says. That was the straight co-main event. Absolutely, there's no question about it. That should have been the co-main event. It's bullshit. It's bullshit that they have Greg Hardy ahead of him. Look at the body of work that Cowboy Cerrone has. Good job, brother. Great to MMA Newsroom. What's going on, my G? That's another great channel right there, MMA Newsroom. Yeah, man, so it's bullshit, man, and I'm here like this regional show, and I guarantee you there's probably some people here that can beat fucking Greg Hardy. I'm here in London, and London, or this part of Europe in general, they tend to be great strikers. Greg Hardy's not a wrestler. I can guarantee I know strikers that will knock out Greg Hardy. Straight up. I personally know people that will knock out Greg Hardy. So. And it's bullshit, man. Like, there's no way he should be calling the main event again. Ahead of Cerrone, who was having his 40th ever Zuffa fight. Look at that! And he's fighting Alexander Hernandez, who's being touted as this super prospect of the future. bullshit, straight up bullshit. But what you gonna do, man? Like, I suppose you can call it. There's some tough dudes, yeah, man. Yeah, I suppose you can call it like a promoter ploy to try and get some attention, but it's pathetic in my opinion. That was a pathetic ploy to try and get some attention because there was better ways. Make Greg Hardy build up a skill set. If you want to sign Greg Hardy, let him get to 12-0. Let him get to 12-0 before you give it. He's got a London. I've seen a lot of movies there. Yeah, it's not like the movies. It's not like it's a nice place, man. I grew up in London. If you've been watching like Kidulthood and all that shit, there's nothing like that. It's cool out here, man. The problem is, you don't really get too many friendly people around here. I went Dublin in the summer. You got met so the people around there are so lovely, so friendly, man. I loved it out there, man. It was beautiful. The people were lovely. The food was amazing. Hospitality was great. Walking past people, I'll be there in a park and I'm walking past someone, everyone saying good morning to me. I loved it out there, man. I love the attitude, and I think a lot of people out here just kind of veering away from MMA here, but a lot of these fools stuck in the grind, they're all depressed and fucking broken mentally because they're doing a 9-to-5 grind which they fucking hate, and they're doing it day to day, going on these trains, these packed commutes, and they're surrounded by fucking zombies. I do it because I got a Monday, Friday 9-to-5, got to pay bills. My family graduated from London and Ireland. Okay, all right. Where you now, brother? So I do it every day. I got a Monday to Friday 9-to-5 grind, and part of the reason why I started this was because it was just getting to me, and I wanted to be able to interact with fight fans and be able to talk to you guys so that I can do something that I love. Talk to people that have what's going on, Jesse Shannon? What's going on, brother? So I wanted to be able to speak to fight fans like you guys because I know a heavyweight boxer in amateur fighting in national championship tonight, mate. I have no doubt. Actually, amateur boxing, especially in UK Ireland scene, you get high level amateur boxers. You got to remember, Joe Joyce was an amateur boxer not too long ago. When Joe Joyce was making his debut, he would have sparked Greg Hardy dead. So yeah, man, straight up. So yeah, man. I was boxing MMA 365. I was talking about how much I love Ireland in general and how happy people were, and the difference I find compared to I'm gonna rewatch this. Who you got in the Reaper fight, MFC? I've got Kelvin Gastelum knocking out Robert Whittaker. I know that's a bit of an interesting choice, and a lot of people have debated me on that. But I think Kelvin Gastelum. I heard from some bullshit. I had some people speak some bullshit about Kelvin Gastelum's B-level. Yoel Romero, what's going on, Jesse Shannon? What's happening, my G? That's straight up bullshit. Kelvin Gastelum's got a very different skill set to Yoel Romero. He's got faster hands, he's got different types of movement, and he moves different. He just moves differently. He's got better boxing than Yoel as well. Yoel's obviously big, strong, super explosive. You're more likely to lose your teeth against Yoel, but you're more likely to lose the fight against Kelvin Gastelum, in my opinion. Especially if you're the Robert Whittaker fight where he's shown that he can get tagged. If he showed he can get tagged, then like you got Yoel being able to get in, and for all Yoel's all the great stuff you can say about Yoel, you got to remember Yoel's not the smoothest, cleanest, sharpest boxer. He ain't got lightning hands like Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum will land on Robert Whittaker and he'll make it count. So I got Kelvin Gastelum winning that. If Robert Whittaker wins, keeps the distance with his kicks, because I wish this hold us leg reach, because that's going to be a key thing in this fight. If he's to win, use his kicks, keep Kelvin at bay. It wouldn't surprise me. I'll be happy for Robert Whittaker. I'm a huge Bobby Knox fan. But I got Kelvin Gastelum winning. So that's my opinion. But I'll be straight up though. I'm going to tell you guys straight up right now, in my opinion, the number one middleweight in the world is Gegard Mousasi. Gegard Mousasi is the best middleweight in the world right now. I don't give a shit what anyone says. He's the best middleweight. He's got the best boxing, most well-rounded game. Gegard Mousasi, most experienced fighter there is as well. The dude's 45 wins and 6. Come on, 45 and 6. What, with 2 draws? 53 fights, you can combine almost the top 5 of the UFC and they won't have that many fights. Or actually with Anderson Silva maybe, but you know what I mean? Like I really wanted to come to this, but unfortunately I have homework. Harry on the hill. Yo Habib, what's going on? Harry, my G, what's going on? Yeah man, so yeah man, that's how I got the main event turning out. It's going to be fun, man. I can't wait for that. The UFC. What's going on, my brother? Yeah, that's going to be a fun fight. Can't wait. So yeah, man, looking forward to the main card, and there's some boxing fights on as well. You got Gervonta Tank Davis boxing tonight. I don't know if you guys are a boxing fan, but He missed weight again, which is absolute fucking bullshit. If you miss weight, you shouldn't be allowed to fight straight up. I don't give a fuck. If your job is professionally fighting, you fight 2-3 times a year, you better be on fucking weight, man. I don't care what anyone says. You make weight. Straight up, you gotta make weight. That's pick for Woodley. Woodley is going to smash Usman. Usman has nothing for Woodley. Maybe some pressure. He ain't going to be able to outstrike. Usman's talking about knocking out Sergio Moraes. Like, that should impress Woodley. Look, I like Kamaru Usman. He's a good, well-rounded fighter with good wrestling, and he's got good pressure. But he's a pudding, not a tank. Yeah, straight up. But Kamaru Usman has got nothing for Tyron Woodley. He can't deal with Tyron Woodley's stand-up. Gegard's like a creeper, seems easy to underestimate. Amazing on his back. Yeah, Gegard's a straight G. Woodley's gonna smash him, man. I reckon Woodley will probably knock him out as well, man. You can't be in there with Woodley being slack the way he's being. There's no way. If Kamaru Usman to win that fight, that would be probably one of the fights that would surprise me most this year. That would be the biggest upset for me this year. I think Woodley's outstanding though. Woodley's got incredible fight IQ. He's got great wrestling, super explosive, super powerful. I really rate Woodley highly. I think he's going to be a champion for a while. Even though he's 36, going on 37, I think he beats Kamaru. He'll probably take out Colby Covington, and then after that he's going to go up and want him to fight for the middleweight title. At that point, it will be Woodley versus, in my opinion, it will probably be Woodley versus Kelvin Gastelum for the middleweight belt towards the end of 2019. If that ever happens, I'm a fucking guru. I'll keep this live stream saved just in case that does play out like that. But I highly rate Woodley, and I fancy his chances in that fight. One fight that I don't fancy at all is because I don't see it as being competitive. I love Anthony Lionheart Smith. He doesn't stand a chance against John Bones Jones. I think John Bones Jones is going to absolutely annihilate him. I think there's a breed of fighters coming up in the light heavyweight division that's going to start to make the light heavyweight division interesting. You got Dominic Reyes, Johnny Walker, who funny enough fought at UCMMA 3 fights ago. So I'm at a UCMMA event right now. Johnny Walker was fighting at a UCMMA event for like 3 fights ago. So had I been working on my channel at that time, I would have got to see him live and personal fighting up close, front row for free. That would have been pretty cool, man. So that's why, again, goes back to don't underestimate the talent in the regional show. So agree about Ty. He is becoming humble and likable. Yeah, man. That's the thing, innit? Like, I think more and more fans are starting to appreciate the humble fighters. RP Marty from Nebraska. I think Woodley first round KO. Gastelum Woodley won't happen because Woodley isn't that much active. Woodley hasn't been active. But you got to remember he's had some health issues, and if he's healthy, I don't see why he wouldn't be active. So Woodley, after the Damian Maia fight, he took some time off because he tore his labrum. But prior to that, in 1 year, he had 4 world title fights. He fought Robbie Lawler. He fought Robbie Lawler in July. Then he fought Stephen Thompson in November, fought Stephen Thompson again in March in 2009, then he fought Damian Maia in July, so that was 4 fights in a year. That's pretty active. So, and then after that he tore his labrum in the Damian Maia fight, so he had to take some time off of that. And then after that fight there, he came back to fight Darren Till. That was just in October, and then he broke his left hand in that fight. So I think that's what's kept him from being as active. Generally, I think Woodley has been active when he's had the opportunity and he's been healthy to be active. I think he's struggled lately to find consistency and activity. If he in a perfect world, he fights Marty, he's going to knock out Marty. Fights Colby Covington, which is a much more interesting fight, but I still haven't beaten Colby Covington. And then he, in that time, I'm thinking Kelvin Gastelum's going to have won the middleweight belt, and then he's going to fight Tyron Woodley for defending the middleweight belt either in December or January 2020. So that's my Nostradamus shit. I'm predicting that right now. If that plays out like that, remember me, yeah? Remember me. Remember, yeah, if that's how it plays out, you guys best remember that, man. So yeah, man. What other fights are coming up that could be exciting? I was planning to talk more about this, the UCMMA event, and there's some fun fights here, but there's no like major super prospects for me to be getting hyped up about. So it's kind of difficult to be doing that, but Whichever fights is they coming up, the Ben Askren versus Robbie Lawler, that's a dope fight. I'll tell you one fight that I'm super excited about. That's going to be Matt Mitrione versus Sergey Kharitonov. Now that's a straight bad man fight, a straight up. That's going to be fought on the feet between two guys that are dope strikers. Matt Mitrione, even though he's only 13-6, has got he's got a really, really good arsenal of fighting skill set. He moves well, he hits hard, and at 40 years old, he's 40 years young. Like he's a young, but I suppose he ain't got that much wear and tear. He started fighting in his 30s, so he ain't taking the wear and tear that even that those of us who just train in the gym will take in sparring and in the gym. He ain't taking those beatings. Whereas obviously. And you got Sergey Kharitonov, who's been fighting professionally for about 20 years now. 28-6 coming into fight. Actually, I've done a breakdown on that fight. I'm going to be uploading that soon, probably on Monday. I'll upload that. But that's a bad boy fight. I cannot wait for that fight, man. I'm going to take Sergey Kharitonov to get the W there. I really like that. Matter of fact, that goes kind of back to our old point. How bullshit is it that Sergey Kharitonov never got to fight in the UFC because of Dana White's beef with Golden Glory? That is bullshit. Sergey Kharitonov in 2013 when they took over Strikeforce, not fighting in the UFC because Dana White had beef with Golden Glory. Fuck that shit. Sergey should be fighting in the UFC straight up. There's no way. He had to be considered one of the best heavyweights in the world at that time. And if he wasn't considered by one of the best heavyweights in the world at that time, I would like to know which dickhead was writing them rankings, because Sergey Kharitonov is a straight G. He should have been in the UFC. That's another one that upsets me. But yeah, I suppose that kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Maybe it's time for Dana White to move on, man. But yeah, that's another good fight coming up that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the rematch between Mirko Cro Cop and Roy Nelson. And I'm going to throw this out there, obviously and blatantly. Mirko Cro Cop has got some contaminated sandwiches right now. He's probably got sandwiches with pills dropping out of it. You heard Dana say number 6 Starbender versus number 1 contender. Starbender. I love it. The audience did it. We got Starbender beating Reprog. You got okay. That's an interesting choice. See, I'm not sure that I'm not that sold on Israel Adesanya right now. You know, like so. Let's look at Israel Adesanya. So he debuted against Rob Wilkinson. There's not much to be said about that, right? He had his fight with what's the fight? Yeah. What do you mean by that, Jay? So you got so he debuted against Rob Wilkinson. You can't really rate him too hard for that. Then he had a real tough fight with Marvin Vettori. I respect all fighters, and he's obviously a high-level journeyman fighter, Marvin Vettori. He is not world-class, and the fact that he struggled so hard with Marvin Vettori is interesting. Then you look at his fight with Brad Tavares. That was a great performance. I really rate Brad Tavares. But then you look at how good 3 year less than Dave's contract, bro. He's going nowhere. Can't get out of it unless he dies. I wouldn't want that. I wish Silva's win. Yeah, I wish Silva would win as well. I love Anderson Silva, even though the dick pills thing really pissed me off. But. And then you look at the fights. So he looked good against Brad Tavares. Then after that, he went on and fought Derek Brunson. My little brother, he always cusses Derek Brunson for running wildly, chin up in the air, getting knocked out by Robert Whittaker. That was embarrassing. I wasn't that impressed because at the end of the day, Derek Brunson is Derek Brunson, innit? Like, what can you say about Derek Brunson? So that being said, Derek Brunson being his best winning the way he did, yes, he won impressively. I was impressed by that performance. I have seen no body of work that makes me believe he can beat Bobby Nuggs or Kelvin Gastelum. Against Kelvin Gastelum, straight up he gets dunked on his back, and then he's where you at, bruv? In the boozer? No. Bro, I got given a press pass to attend a local MMA event. It's called UCMMA. UCMMA is pretty big here in London. Johnny Walker fought in UCMMA 3 fights ago. Jimmy Manuel come out of UCMMA. John DeJuan Maguire. I got a press pass. So, but while there was some kind of I don't want to be rude, but underwhelming prelim fights, I thought I'll come out here and speak to some of you guys about some upcoming fights and stuff. He beat a washed up Brunson. I like Israel Adesanya. Yeah, UCMMA has been around forever. It got built on the back of Cage Rage, right? And Cage Rage, so you got to consider it Cage Rage. Leo, this year, I hope not. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting, man. I I'm not sold on Israel Adesanya yet. And if he beats Kelvin Gastelum, if he beats Anderson Silva, he beat a 43-year-old Anderson Silva. What does that win mean? I got Silva shocking. See, Anderson Silva has a huge advantage over Israel Adesanya. A humongous advantage that can't be understated, and that's on the ground. On the ground, there is a world of difference. And 43 or not, you got to remember that whether he's 43 or not, that ground game is still there, and he will still be able to catch Israel Adesanya on the submission. So whilst I got Israel Adesanya winning, if Anderson Silva can get it to the ground, but I don't. The reason why I don't see it playing out like that. I don't see Anderson Silva going. I love Israel though, but this will wake the demon up. Yeah, I love Israel Adesanya as well, man. I love Israel Adesanya as well, but he's got some ways to go before he can prove me he's going to be able to beat Kelvin Gastelum or Robert Whittaker. He's got some hard work to be able to do there. I've been watching his old fights, brings back the memories of how dominant he was. Yeah, man, I was watching the Forrest Griffin fight just the other day, and that was crazy. The dude was in the Matrix. The way he was moving around, that was insane, man. I really enjoyed that though. And see, I've been an MMA fan for long enough that I've been fortunate enough to watch the rise of Anderson Silva from the beginning to. I watched him in Cage Rage actually. I watched him fight Lee Murray in Cage Rage. That's how long I've known followed Anderson Silva for. So that's a long time now, man. That's a long time, guys. I've been able to watch the whole career, the rise of Anderson Silva, the rise of Drew St. Pierre, the rise of John Bones Jones. That's crazy, man. Like. So it's kind of sad for me to see these guys when 1 minute they're unstoppable and the next minute I'm seeing them getting bust up by everyone, man. Israel got a match, make him fight Costa. Yeah, I would have liked to have seen him fight Costa. That would have fight Lee Murray was the next big thing before prison. I still can't believe that. For those of you who don't know, Lee Murray was a huge British MMA star. He was one of the first British MMA stars, I think, even before Bisping to go to the UFC. He even beat Jorge Rivera. Jorge Rivera was a straight G, and then he got caught up in the whole that huge robbery here in London, where they stole 52 million pounds, and he was out in Morocco, and he got arrested for that, and now he's serving time in prison for that. So he's got a real interesting backstory. So guys, if you ain't checked out that, just check that out, man. It's kind of crazy. So the whole situation with Lee Murray is kind of mad. What a waste of talent, squandered talent. But the dude was a crazy dude, man. Like the stories of him when he used to go out clubbing, going out and knocking out bouncers and stuff. The dude was straight. Adam Turner, yo, Adam Turner, what's going on, my G? Shout out to you, my man. Shout out to your son as well, man. Get your son into MMA young, man. Who knows? He might be a future star, man. We might be talking about him breaking down his fights, talking about how he's an all-time great. I'll be in the school from young. So it's crazy if you get the guys in young what they can achieve. Actually, one guy who I think will be able to achieve incredible things in fighting if he went professional and gave it a go. And I'm not just saying this biasly, but objectively is my little brother. My little brother is really small. He's like 5'3", 5'4", nothing like me. I'm 6'2". He's much better looking than me as well. I actually done a video with him. So if you see, I've done a couple live streams with him as well. His name's Danish, but he is such a talented striker. The dude has stand-up skills for days. He's got so much talent as a striker. His stand-up is beautiful, technically proficient. Got to run now, live in Wisconsin, USA. Yo, take care, bro. Thank you for tuning in, my brother. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, so I think if he wanted and really pushed for it, went pro. There's so much talent out there for fighting, man. It's crazy. There was once upon a time where I was certain I was going to be a great fighter. I was training hard. I got in real good shape. Had a few interclubs. Done pretty damn good. Won them. I used to light up everyone in sparring. But then, Adam, please, man. Take care, my G. I used to light up everyone in sparring, and what happened is one time I was grappling, bust up my knee, pulled out of my semi-pro fight. Then I was in uni, so I had to finish my degree, finish uni, got straight into a business, went from being a young student, I was 22 years old, working 7 days a week, talking 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. practically every day. So I didn't get no time to train. By the time we sold out, I was 23, 24 years old, but I was flat broke. So I needed some money, started working, couldn't afford training. Next thing you know, here I am, I'm 28 years old, and like now I love the sport and I still train. Who knows, I might even still have a few fights, but I think my time to achieve great great things as a fighter is gone. I might have a few fights though. Who knows, man? So, but it's crazy, man, the amount of talent and potential that gets squandered. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go check out the rest of the fights. Thank you for tuning in to the live stream. I'm gonna be uploading a video doing my breakdown of Cain Velasquez and Francis Ngannou up on my channel soon. So check that out, guys. And if you just check the live stream and you didn't subscribe to my channel, please subscribe. Help me get this channel as big as possible. And let's get it, guys. Enjoy the fights tonight. I might do a live stream doing a live companion on the fights. If that's what if you guys are interested in that, let me know. Might do it anyway. If you guys don't like it, you can just dislike and let me know when I'm doing it. But thank you, guys. Shout out to everyone who tuned in. Peace out, man. Have a good night, guys, and enjoy the fights. Thank you, my brother.